Hello, we're taking this Dollar Tree faux fence sign and we are placing some burnt umber on a baby wipe and smoothing out that all over the back of this sign. We're going to give that a good dry. And then we are going to take some white school glue, or not white school glue, you could use white school glue. I'm actually going to try Mod Podge on this one. I'm almost out of my school glue, but I have a lot of this, so I figured I would try this, and it does end up working as well. Now you see I went in one direction across the whole board, and then in some areas I went in another direction as well. Then we're taking this Folk Art Home Decor Sheepskin chalk paint, and we are using a soft brush, a foam brush, and we're going to place some of that paint over top of the glue. Now here I did only go in one direction, and I'm trying not to overwork it and mix my glue and paint. I'm just trying to lay the paint over top of the glue. Once I get that layer on, I give it a good dry, and you start to see the crackles come as I spin it around there. And in a lot of the areas where I, like along the edges and stuff, where I went in two different directions, it crackled really fine, and then throughout the center it crackles bigger. So then I decided that I was going to take some of that burnt umber and a paintbrush that was kind of soft. I would have used a makeup brush if I had it, but I didn't. And I placed it in certain areas to kind of bring out some of the definition of the fence so that it still looked like a fence when we were all done. And I honestly just layered this on, thicker closer to the edge, and then kind of thinner as I went down the fence posts or as I went along the sides there. So that's why it looks darker in some areas and lighter in others. You could take a ruler and even go all the way down the fence post if you want, do a straight line, however you like to do it. This was just what kind of came to my mind, so that's what I did. And I think it looks really beautiful. Then we're going to layer some dark antique wax from Behr, B-E-H-R, at Home Depot. We're going to layer some of that right over top of our burnt umber. And then we're also going to put it throughout our white, or our sheepskin paint. Not throughout the entire thing, just in different places throughout the gate there. Then we're going to take a dry paper towel, and we are going to blend it all the way around. And then I do get the edges as well. And then I had to decide what I wanted to do next, so I grabbed one of these plaques from Dollar Tree. They come in a package of, I think, 6 or 8. And I grabbed this beautiful cardstock that I got from a book that I got from Joann's, and then I got some decoupage paper from Amazon. This is a little guy holding up a letter, and the cardstock is some script writing, so I thought it went perfect. So I Mod Podge the decoupage paper and the cardstock where I want it on the wooden plaque, and then I sand along the edges to get any excess off. I tried to cut it as close as possible, but I did sand along the edges just to get anything off that was there. And it looks really pretty already. Then I take this Dollar Tree brush and some Distress Oxide pads, and I go around with some different colors. I use Ground Espresso, the Tea Dye, and the Rusty Hinge. There's a little gate behind the guy holding a letter as well, and there's some oranges and yellows in there, so I just wanted to do things that would bring that stuff out. Now along the edges there, I at first took a brown Distress ink pad, and then I decided to do the black later, so you'll see that in just a bit here. And now it kind of goes along with our gate there. It's the same sort of style, sort of worn and old and vintagey, rusticy goodness. Then I grabbed 3 Jenga blocks, and I did the 4 thin sides with burnt umber and a baby wipe. Here's where I go over with some black and then some burnt umber on the edges too, because I wanted to elevate this off of the gate So I wanted the edges to be done. Okay, and then I put some wood glue and some hot glue on each of the Jenga blocks. And then I do the same thing on the other side, and I place it down where I want it. Look how cute he is. Then I decide we're gonna do some knots in the front and do a little twine hanger. Nothing extravagant because I really love the gate. The Crackle did a really good job and I really love the image, so I didn't want to take away from that. Then I wrestle with a bow. So I am trying to get back in the habit of doing bows regularly because we've just been busy and I haven't been practicing. So they are kind of nerve-wracking again for me. So I got out some fabric. I do this bow. I'm using, like this primitive yellow. I'm using some blue jean looking stuff, some coffee stained cotton fabric, some regular cotton fabric, some lace, some Dollar Tree. I got a little bit of everything in there. Some burlap, ribbon, all kinds of stuff. And I'm practicing my longer tailed bows because I've only ever done one that I like. And so I've practiced a couple times trying to get it right. So I thought this bow was going to go on the side because I wanted the tails really, really long. But I really love the way that it looked in the middle, actually, kind of hovering over his image. Now you're going to see me trim all this and fiddle fart with it. And then I get out some of these like gear and button type of pieces that I had in bronze or copper or whatever. And I start playing around with what I want to put in the center of the bow, just to kind of see. So there's some different options there. Eventually I realized I don't like this bow. So you guys, when you don't like something, heat it up, take it off, because it was just hot glue. I undid the twine. The twine was way too short, and so I didn't get to pull it as tightly as I wanted to. And that was really making my bow look a lot sloppier than I wanted it to look. So I got a bigger piece of twine, I re-glued it, and then I liked it a lot better. I also took out the front piece there. I had a very thin piece of Dollar Tree fabric, and I didn't like that either. So if you don't like something, go ahead and redo it. And then I decide where I want it placed on, or I guess around the image. And I do end up cutting details a little shorter than I originally thought, because like I said, I thought this was going to go off to the side. I put a, like one of those gear things in the center that's a clock. And then I put one down there with a couple buttons just to sort of tie it all together. Look how beautiful that is, you guys. And then the last thing that we do is we add some Excelsior. I add some in the bow just to kind of fluff it up there at the top. And I do this in different places. I do it directly on the board and then in between a few pieces of the fabric in a couple different places. And I'm just using that silicone spatula from Dollar Tree so I don't get my fingers burnt. And then I go around our image with some of the Excelsior as well. And then he's very simple, but he's all done. I didn't want to hide a lot of our crackle. I gave the Excelsior a trim, and he's done, you guys. I love the way this turned out. I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching, and let me know how you would have done yours. I love him. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye.